Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Late Night THORnews Asteroid Fight Club Special Edition. I've been walking on eggshells for so long, I don't know if I can do it anymore. So you've been warned in this video. Who knows what I'm going to say? But I will say this. We hit an earthquake that has happened since the last video I made like 3 hours ago on our Argentinian dry hot spot. A lot of times, like 30 or 40% of the time, when you get a black spot in the dryness map like this, you will get an earthquake in that exact same area, over like a 24-hour, 48-hour span. And in that time, we had right on the bullseye, it was a 6.4, 6.3, I don't know what's being listed as, in Argentina. Looks like it was 20 kilometers deep. Hopefully there will be no casualties and not a lot of major damage. But everything's weird. And I'm excited. We're back to watching the stereo ahead, core 2. And I'll fill you in if you're new to this. What we got here is we got the sun baby down here. What we got over there is the cat hair of doom, the little crescent shape that continues to change over time. And the sun baby will throw temper tantrums at time, for lack of a better term. But notice you have two jets sticking out, and the comet comes in, and by my standards, the comet is going slow, buddy. And then you get a coronal mass ejection that happens almost exactly after the comet sun dives. And it almost slows down when it sun dives. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of the professional astrologer, people will be like, comets have no noticeable effect on the sun ever. And it's like every single time you get a close sun diving comet, almost every single time, you get a coronal mass ejection that happens either right before, right after, or both. So this is just like the 100th time we've seen some type of sun diving comet and a coronal mass ejection happen soon before or after. So watch, you get one there, bang, and then I guess the tail hangs out extra, and then you get one fire off there, and then a second fire off happen. I don't know if you could tell. Anyway, and then you got to watch out because cool comets always make me extra romantic. And it's still okay if I pretend like I'm sexy. Right? Okay, no, you shut up. And so we get our giant triangle up here, which I always find super fascinating, by the way, just on a personal level. Anytime you get a natural solar triangle and hydrostatic equilibrium, I'm like, whoa, that is crazy. So this is a sunspot now. This had just tiny activity. But this is this thing that I'm like super obsessing over. Like, that is one giant sunspot, or is it a bunch of sunspots, or it's just like a sunspot complex. Either way, I got my eye on it, and I got a feeling this thing is going to be active as it turns to face towards Earth. Right now, we're looking at a backside camera. This thing is just now turning towards Earth, and will probably be Earth facing over the next 7 to 10 days. Look at it. It's giant. And then it's got a coronal hole right next to it. But another main story I'm obsessing about, and I might even be doing it all night, baby. Here with you, buddy. Y'all, party people. Because you have major wind event happening over California right now. Right now it's more in northern California, and it will continue to strengthen over like the next 48 hours. Definitely through the night. And then down in Hawaii, they're having a major wind and storm event as well. Plus, Alaska's getting hit with a big storm. And then, to complete the weird triangle, you get Popocatépetl continuing to show activity as well. And I'm hereby declaring it a official Texas springtime. In the South, it has begun. Because Jiminy Cricket that I know and listen to, talk to sometimes, out in the wilderness, outside the ledge of my apartment, he's back. I hadn't heard him for a couple months. So that is great news. I mean, if you like spring. And so there's a big American inauguration in like 35 hours. And one question I'm wondering, because tomorrow or today is the day of 100 pardons. Outgoing President Trump is going to pardon 100 people. And rumor has it he may pardon Tiger Joe. What is that guy's name? Tiger King. Maybe not. Maybe that's a dumb rumor. But I want to know, is he going to pardon Julian Assange? we will find out. And, you know, we've heard so much stuff, especially out of like the QAnon crew, with it, like there's going to be a giant blackout and they're going to arrest a bunch of people and they're going to put in some new government. Trump's going to be president for 8 years. There were lizard people and, I don't know, Italian Dominion Vatican satellites. And so who knows what's going to happen? I don't know if the My Pillow guy is so powerful. Why doesn't he have his own Lego set? I think Jasmine's letting us know we got a new lava dome. I think this is in Hawaii. But hey, man, it's a crazy world. If you want to have some weird fan fiction and say that Trump is definitely going to be president for the next 8 years, that's fine. We can all fantasize in our own weird ways. Like I will imagine me playing the Thor Talks to Women game with Selena and Taylor, where I get to ask them 100 dumbass questions and definitely test their chemistry. Hopefully funny things would be said. But yeah, imagination's great. You can run off to a place filled with cool people and everything always says is funny. But real shit is real shit and weather's real. And so if you're in the Bay Area, a lot of people are saying, yeah, these winds are as strong as advertised and they will continue to get stronger overnight. Hawaii's Emergency Management Association, HEMA, it's one letter away from being He-Man. What's it talk about? Heavy winds tearing roofs up from houses can happen suddenly and unexpectedly. Please have an emergency go-to kit prepared for at least 2 weeks worth of supplies. Also, don't forget to include hand sanitizers and masks to prevent further COVID-19 infection and spreadation. And so they just aren't talking about roofs possibly getting ripped off in Hawaii. This is Hawaii, and roofs are definitely getting ripped off. So you have a major wind event happening in Hawaii and in California as we speak, which is kind of weird. Look, man, this is THORnews, Astro Fight Club. This is supposed to be for the coolest of the cool, the smartest of the smart, and, you know, people who know how to stay even keel through all the chaos. And so when I tell you, dude, there have been a lot of 6 magnitude earthquakes this month and this year, which is only 19 days old. How many? 10 6 or bigger earthquakes is a lot. Like, for example, you know, that would probably be about 18, if you average it out over the month, 18, you know, I don't know. What I'm trying to say here is, like, if you look at 2011, you know, the biggest year with the most amount of 6 or more earthquakes was this year, or 2011, meaning that, like, to get 10 in the middle of a month seems like quite a bit. And it seemed like 99% of people were like, solar activity is going to be really, really, really low for like the next 7 to 30 years. And I was like, no, bro. No, it's not. Nobody knows what the sun is going to do. And for those who think we may or may not communicate with the sun at times or just have inter-empathy with each other, I think the sun's got some cards up its sleeve. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. I think the world is only going to get weirder. So, solar activity has definitely been up the last 3 months, way over average of what almost anybody expected, except for like me and Scott McIntosh. And so, the weirder the sun acts, you know, the weirder you can expect everything around us. And then there are always the comets and asteroids doing part of the interacting in our solar system. And then all the other interstellar medium, which is like intersolar system medium, I guess. You know, anyway, I'm also fascinated with the sunspot. There you go. So it looks like you had a couple waves of atmospheric rivers. So I'm just watching events unfold and relaying them to whoever is listening. How are you doing? And what are you wearing? Everybody watching my video should definitely be over 21. Although I did give a special free pass to Billie Eilish. Yeah, technically I elevated her to X-Men status. So, Dreamcatcher. That was her name. Yeah, and so watch the precipitation. Notice how the precipitation almost retrogrades backward. And so the fact that whole low system comes down, kind of swirls around, then comes up just through the south as this one pulls back to the west. Yeah, things are weird, dude. Things are definitely weird. So, here I am, with you talking about this whole situation. And in the middle of all this, look, it's foggy. So in the middle of all the wind, and so you get moisture coming into the south. You've still got fire danger. Oh, yeah, and fires are now breaking out. I forgot. So an hour ago, you had a fire reported near Country Club Drive in Milpitas. Evacuations in place and alerts are going out from local police. This fire could spread fast down the hills in Milpitas as winds are gusting north to northeast 20 to 45 miles per hour in the area. Evacuate if you are asked to leave. So if you look down here, you got like 680 and 880. So here's where your fires are, and the winds are blowing down. So if it was going to spread, definitely if you are anywhere near these areas, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? They're saying evacuations in Cervantes Court, Camarillo Court, Calaveras Ridge Drive, Calera Creek Heights. Yeah, definitely keep an eye on this. And I think more fires will probably be breaking out overnight. And don't worry, if this looks like the dark pits of hell are opening up, it's actually just Mount Etna. But it's, it is one of the many things, volcanoes that are erupting or going a little cray-cray right now. After 4 weeks of moderate activity at its summit craters, Etna has unleashed a new paroxysmal eruptive episode from its southeast crater on the evening of 18th January 2021. We are now into the 19th, but this just happened 9 hours ago. So, yeah, things are getting more interesting. And with all that being said, there is a more obvious reason why, or some are calling it a wet Santa Ana wind. Moisture. Wet and windy, or wet and blowy. Moisture aloft to the east will increase simultaneously with the winds. This will increase in areas pops across the South Bay, mostly eastern deserts. And then you had a Snownado yesterday in Vermont. Some people said they should call it a snow devil. I was like, no, I don't think the devil really likes snow. And almost all the stories about him are like he's in a fiery pits of hell. He's never like on a snow mound. And then there were reports that Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle that she says sells exploded in a woman's house, setting it on fire. These are comedians, these two. And the picture's unrelated. So make your own Gwyneth Paltrow vagina candle joke at home. Okay? But if you did want to be kind of scared or freaked out about stuff, you could be a little concerned or alarmed that there are multiple volcanoes having small pyroclastic flows. That is more like the deeper volcanic mud that actually gets hotter than lava. So, remember, Kailua, I'll learn how to say it one of these days, just got active at the day of the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, December 21st, 2020. So now he's getting hit with a lot of super windy weather and potent storm that's ripping off roofs, as California's having a pretty gruesome windstorm as well. So I'm just here hanging out with you early morning Tuesday, which really feels like a weekend day. I don't know. The energy definitely still feels like a weekend. Can you feel it? Okay, so dozens upon dozens of weather stations in the North Bay are reporting humidity in the teens well after dark in the middle of January on top of high winds. These are historic fire weather conditions they are currently experiencing there in the Bay. Then you got Nathan the Nerd bringing it, letting us know Cyclone Eloise is about to make landfall in Madagascar, a severe tropical storm. Winds currently around 60 miles per hour. And so they're definitely getting winds that heavy in Hawaii and twice as much in some places in California. I've seen some say up to 130 mile per hour winds in some of the mountaintops in Cali. But here, the gusts are up to hurricane force at this time down in Madagascar. The system could become a major threat to Mozambique in the coming days after it reemerges over water. And so, we will keep tracking things. And you do your best to stay cool under even the most fiery crazy conditions. Although if it's actually fiery, then GTFO, get out of there. You know what I'm saying? And the next 48 hours should be weird, strange. We're kind of in uncharted waters territory, the whole world in 2021, as we keep moving civilization forward step by step every day. All right. I love you. I'll miss you. I'm so glad you're here with me. Stay cool, everyone. I'll talk to you in the near future.